Hello, welcome to not in the press box. It's Lloyd's Dugout. It's Lloyd's Dugout Day with Josh McAllister. Coach Josh McAllister. My gosh, we're coming off a week to remember on a Friday we'll never forget.
No, it was amazing.
100th anniversary of Kennett baseball, and you couldn't have scripted it any better.
No, it's almost like we drew it up for a walk-off win. You know, everything worked out the way we planned as far as the pregame ceremonies and everything in the game. It was a great game for people to watch, and then probably couldn't have ended any better, I guess.
No, I mean, just the weather hasn't really cooperated.
Not at all.
But when we had the 100th celebration last fall, best weekend of the year that time, and then we had the terrific Friday here.
It was amazing. It was the first time we had nice weather and
I know.
in all season. I think it was warm. We were hot on the field, and it was nice finally.
And there were a lot of people got there early, Josh. I mean, there were people getting there too, just to reminisce and share stories, and it was just everything was just first rate. I mean, got to start out with Sarah Lynn Smith, who just had an incredible display.
Now, she did a great job. She's accumulated a lot of good historical stuff for the Alumni Association, and she has a lot of baseball stuff. Linda Burns has given a lot to the Alumni Association. I had some stuff that I had in my possession. I had George Davison's state championship jacket from 1995 that Sarah Lynn has now, and so we were able to kind of get some old uniforms and some of the newer uniforms and all of that out in a display and for everybody to kind of see. And she's got a bunch of autographed balls and bats from various teams, and it was really cool the way she was able to pull that together.
It was incredible. And then Danny Quinn shows up. He's wearing his baseball pendant from 50 years ago. First time he'd ever worn it.
That's great.
And he was wearing Gretel's softball jersey initially, just so he had number 15. He wanted to wear number 15 for some reason, but that was his jersey number. And then Jacob Cameron showed up. It looked like he's playing pro football at WWE. I mean, he's like 7 foot tall now.
I think he hit another growth spurt.
And he's like, God, I have such great memories of this field. Everyone I talked to had great memories of this field. And I ran into Parker Roberts, and Parker told me that home plate used to be where the left field is. I never realized that.
And I only realized that looking at old photos.
Did you really?
Trying to orient where the photos came from.
Yeah.
And I realized that in the background of those photos wasn't Conway Elementary School. It was the main wing of the middle school now, or the old high school.
Really?
Yeah, and so some of those old photos, you can kind of see that orientation.
Oh, I got to look at some of those.
Yeah.
Because Peter Ames was telling me it was easier to hit it out into left field back then than it is today.
I'm sure.
Yeah. But and then while the Side and Stucker gym was being built, they played 2 years down at Tamworth.
Really?
I never realized that.
I didn't know that.
In 77, 78, I guess it was, because the gym hadn't been finished and there was all sorts of construction debris. So the Eagles played away from the nest for a little while.
Didn't know that.
No, didn't know that. And then you brought in the perfect master of ceremonies. If you had the bring someone in. I know John Eastman was unable to make it, but you bring in Bob Burns Jr., and he was just fantastic.
He always is. You know, he's charismatic and outgoing, and likes to talk. And I think it was a good, bringing the Burns family into the whole thing. Coach Burns, was the coach for both of our state championships, and it was the right person to have there, and he did an excellent job.
He really did. And he was telling me he got hit by a pitch 17 times his senior year.
Somebody didn't like him.
Somebody didn't like him. He just had a little edge to him. He was Brad Marchant without the skates back then. But just really fun, and then you couldn't have picked two better people to throw out first pitches.
I was really happy that worked out. I had communicated with Abe about him speaking to our team in our Champions Speaker Series that we've been doing all year. And so when I asked him to do that, he said, "I'll fly up. I'll do it that weekend. I want to come up for the 100."
I thought he was going to Zoom.
And so so did I. And so he flew up, and I said, "Well, do you want to throw out the first?" Be one of the people to throw out the first pitch, and he said absolutely. And then we figured if we're gonna celebrate anyone of the the history of the 100 years, we should celebrate those two teams that won the state championship. So we looked to the aces of both of those squads, and Danny was excited, and it was great that we were able to get both of those.
Oh my
those
gosh,
guys there.
It was terrific. And then Chris Wheeler came back from Massachusetts to catch him. Who was his catcher?
It was excellent. I know Chris Wheeler was very excited to come back, and he was when Abe asked if Wheels could catch that pitch, I was like, absolutely, let's make that happen. And Wheels, oiled up his glove, I think, for the day, and was ready. It was ready to go, and it was great. It was a great.
And then Brian Day said, "I got nothing left," but he was more than willing to catch Danny.
He got it.
He did catch it. which was wonderful. And then Candy Tremblay did a fantastic job with the national anthem.
Everything was great, and it's awesome that we were able to bring Candy in, who's the wife of Seth Allen, our assistant coach. So everything tied in really well, just the way the whole event went.
Oh my gosh, it was terrific, and our throwback jerseys are just amazing.
Yeah, they were great. The feedback from the boys, they loved them. The feedback we gave jerseys to Bob Burns Jr. and to Abe and Danny.
And I got mine.
And you got yours, and the feedback on all of them was that it was just really a really nice tribute to those 35 years that they wore the same jersey.
Yeah.
It was nice.
And perfect hats, too. I think you matched the hat.
I did. Those are the hats that the current middle school team wears.
Are they really?
Yeah.
You were talking about maybe using
those. Gretel was able to get us some middle school hats that had that perfect block K on the front to kind of throw back to the old days.
Yeah. I got to admit, I got a little bit of chills watching.
It was fun.
Seeing everyone show up. And then I had to go cover the softball, so Rachel got the honor of covering the first pitches for you guys, and she just said, "What a game!" And then we find out we win 3-2, and Lynn and I are trying to watch it on Valley Vision, and we go to the 7th, and Lynn's like, "Are you sure we win?" I said, "Yeah, Josh told me we won. I've seen the score."
Yeah.
What a dramatic finish.
It's I guess how we drew it up. I mean, I would have preferred as a coach for it to be maybe a 7-0 win. Coast right through into the 7th inning, but. I was a little nervous when they scored one more run at the top of the 7th, and I was like, do we have it in us to do this? We, sometimes when things get hard, we have a hard time staying up, and we had some good at bats. I think our first batter was out, so we ended up with one out right away. I think then Charette hit a double, and then we were able to.
Crushed
he did. That ball would have been out at our field. That ball and one that Brody hit early in the game, we would have had 2 home runs at the new Kennet High School field.
Brody hit one further than I've ever seen.
Me too. It was unbelievable. And then so Charette ended up at third, and then Devin got him in on a sacrifice fly, and I think we had a man on, like 1 man on and 2 outs.
Yeah.
And I think we worked a couple good at bats, got the bases loaded, and then Guillermo gets an 0-2 count. And
I know.
Then,
it was
then
like,
he just works it right up the middle, and we just waving people home at that point.
And you pinch ran for Sergio, which I thought was a great move.
It was a good move. It ended up, Blake Royer ran for him, and Blake worked his way around to third. So I mean, he was able to score that run. It was his first run scored as a varsity baseball player.
Was it really?
So
and he tied it.
Yeah,
tied
the game, and then Jacob was on his horse from the beginning. I don't think it mattered if I was waving or not. He was going home. He was going home. But I was waving him the whole way.
You were waving, yeah. Oh my gosh! But the thing that really got me choked up was you talked to the third baseman from Sanborn.
It was unbelievable. The kid looks at me and he goes, "Boy, coach, they write movies about stuff like this." I said, "Oh yeah," and he goes, "Bases loaded, 2 outs, 0-2 count. Here we are, the villains, trying to ruin your 100th celebration." He goes, "Let's see how this goes." And then he meets me in the line. He goes, "I told you it was like a movie." I was like, "Geez, great kid." It was really
that's just
funny.
awesome. And then I look over after the game, and Danny Quint comes over to talk to the boys.
It was awesome. Danny came over and he just talked about how. That a walk-off win like that reminded them of his team and his state championship team and how they would rally and win games and just he goes, you have a chance to win every single game and you got to keep that in you and it was he spoke some really kind words to the boys and they were locked in on him. It was
Were
great.
they really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! I mean, we win the 100th football game, we win the 100th baseball game. It just seems so apropos.
It was great.
It was really good. So shall we look at video or photos first? What's a preference? Rob's giving me the choice. What do you want to see? Video?
Let's go video first.
Let's go video first. All right. We got a little video. Rachel Sharples was kind enough to shoot a little video for us, and we'll take you through that. And then we got tons and tons of photos. And you can see a great view of the crowd here in the first video, I think. Again, perfect day for a baseball game.
Yeah, it was beautiful. This is a good view. The boys are on the fence. Brody's up at the plate.
They were into it right from the outset.
Yeah, it was awesome, and a lot of people up there on the hill. And I've said it before, there's really not a better place to watch a game when you can sit up high and look down into the field. And I'm glad that video ended with Brody with a base hit.
Yeah, Brody with a base hit.
All we need
when we do it, I think we should play there every year. I would love to see us play there every year.
I love it.
And we do it on a Saturday. We do food trucks or hot dogs.
That'd be great.
Fundraiser for everyone. Bring in all the little leaguers or something. It would be wonderful. Is this Guillermo?
Yeah, Guillermo hit right after Brody.
I like the lineup you put out there.
We've moved it around a little bit, and we moved Sergio to the 2-hole. Here's Matt Charette, our starting pitcher on the day. This is an excellent play, actually. Jacob Brown ranging over from short for a fly ball deep in foul territory.
Yeah.
Great play. Jacob's been outstanding at shortstop for us, and Matt has been equally outstanding on the mound. You know, right now Matt has the most innings pitched in the state.
He was at 35, and then he pitched a
complete game yesterday.
Yeah.
You know, he's right there. This is Bryce Marcoux. He's a senior for us, and Bryce has been a great find for us at first base. You know, we had him pegged for an outfield spot at the beginning of the year, and then we went to Florida. We gave him a little work at first base because he had a first baseman's mitt. We're like, oh, let's give it a shot.
Yeah.
And our defense at first base has been amazing. Bryce picks the ball better than most kids at his age, and you know, it's been great.
And then you had the Moat Mountains in the background. There were so many people who were up on the tracks.
No, it was fun. It was all the middle school kids and all the Cal Ripken kids.
Yeah.
They were just sitting behind us and cheering. It was awesome. It was really cool.
Up on the track, and I know the groundskeeper tried to get the Scenic Railroad to come, but they just got so much washout from
they couldn't make it
spring
all the
and
way
winter,
through.
so they couldn't make it all the way down. But that was the only thing missing.
I think so.
You could have rolled back the clock, and it would have been 88 your senior year.
98.
98.
Easy. Easy. He aged me 10 years.
Yeah, it could have been 78. Yeah. But, I mean, what about 4 o'clock? Did you warn second baseman about the light?
I did. I told Sawyer, like, the sun's going to get there, and he and Brody both saw it. The sun was right there. They had their glasses on.
What did it mean to you to be able to play back at that field?
Well, I think I said it. It's the first time I had even been on that field probably since whatever my last game was, before our playoffs, before playoffs in '98. So I hadn't coached on that field. I never coached middle school baseball, so I hadn't coached on that field or played on that field at all since then. And it was really cool. It was a fun experience. Phil McCaffrey did a great job getting that field game ready. We met during April vacation, and we kind of walked through what needed to be done. And when the boys had all played there, they've played there more recently than I had because they played middle school.
Oh, that's
right.
And
they were all worried about playing on that field because of the condition it had been in when they played there.
Yeah.
When they showed up, they said, "Wow, this field looks great." And so Philip did an excellent job.
It was so green. I couldn't believe it.
It was amazing.
It was like we painted the field.
He mowed the grass like 40 minutes before the game started.
Did he really?
He was out there mowing and getting everything down. And I like the grass low, and Philip got it where we wanted it.
And he did a terrific job over on the softball field too.
Yep.
Everything looked just first class, first rate.
Great.
It was wonderful. Let's watch see some photos. I think there's the dream team.
Yeah. So I tried to recreate the photo that we had that we modeled the uniforms from. Which
Did you
was
really?
From 1970, I think it was a 71 photo. And so they had a bunch of the coaches on one side and all the players lined up. And I want to, at some point in time, I'll do kind of a side by side.
But it just looks so sharp and clean.
Yeah, it's nice. Well, Seth and I.
Seth and you have been together the whole time.
For most of it, yeah. Seth, I think he's been with me for 8 of the 10 years.
Yeah.
Doc and Danny.
Doc. We figured out Doc is the oldest surviving Saco Valley softball league player.
Really?
And he was pretty delighted about that.
That's great. Abe throwing out his first pitch.
Yeah. Abe
Wheeler
looked
right
good.
there in the foreground.
And we got some former players in the background out on the base pass.
Yep.
And
I saw a lot more former players show up later on, too.
Yeah,
there were a lot of guys.
There's the group.
Yep.
I love that photo.
The crew from the beginning.
Yeah, they just had so much fun.
They
Danny used the championship baseball
He did.
from '74.
He did.
That thing's been in a time capsule. It's been everywhere.
I know it.
And we were joking that Danny was going to probably try and get in the lineup, be your closer.
I think he'd try. He would definitely try.
And the memorabilia, just really good stuff. Sarah Lynn, just amazing.
Yeah, no, it's awesome.
She just, I can't imagine the 100th without her. Some softball stuff. Just really good-looking uniforms.
Yeah, years and years of uniforms there.
Yeah. There's Bernsey Jr., or HB as they call him over in Freiburg, doing his thing. I knew he was going to go off script. He's like, of
course he is.
I'm going to ad lib.
Yeah. Doc in a golf cart. He was excited about that.
Yeah, he was pretty pumped. And he loves Kennett baseball.
He does. He does.
Yeah, so lucky to have him be a part of it.
Sawyer
Hussey, yeah.
Sawyer had a big day yesterday against Laconia. He had a couple more hits. Yeah, he did.
Gosh, he's having a great junior year.
Guillermo, I think that's the out.
I think you got him, yeah.
We actually did a play that I don't think has ever worked in any of the years that I've ever seen, where you throw it hard back to the pitcher and try to get the guy at third, and it worked. I asked Doc if he'd ever seen that work, and he said never.
Really?
Yeah, it worked finally.
Oh, my gosh.
That's why you practice it. Matt had a great day, went the distance. He's pitched a complete game in every outing he's had so far.
10 Ks, that surprised me a little bit.
It was a big day. Yeah, he really uses his off-speed well and really keeps them off balance.
And kudos to the Sanborn pitcher that Jake
He was great.
Bouton was pretty solid.
He was excellent. He was a freshman.
Yeah.
And our guys were saying that he had a lot of run back to the plate on the lefty side, and they really had a hard time early getting it on.
Bryce with an out, but I love the fans up in the back.
I know, it's great.
It's really so cool.
Surge,
yeah. Surge is a big guy, it looks like.
He's tall and lean.
Yeah,
tall and lean. Surge is hitting in the 2-hole for us now. He sees a lot of pitches. A lot of our guys are very aggressive, and Sergio's not. So I put him in the 2-hole so that we kind of work some. He has good at bats, so we work some pitches there. Devin, and then Brody and Owen out in the outfield there. I think Brody tried to gun a guy at third, and
it wasn't too far off.
It wasn't too far off. Brody likes to show off the cannon when he can.
Well, I mean, I just kept thinking, God, if we had a fence, but I don't know if a fence.
Yeah. Oh, I opted no fence. They asked me if we had a fence to put up, and I said I wanted to play without one.
I just can't imagine Brody in his trot. That would have been something.
Matt running hard.
I think Matt laid down a bunt here, and then
he did. I think he was safe on this play. They called him out. I
think he was safe.
I think he beat the throw.
Yeah, Rachel said he was safe. Do you know that?
Guillermo.
Game-winning hit.
Is that the one?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, that was a great hit. Yeah.
There you are. Jake, get home. You got Burnsy and Dave up from above.
Somebody had to help out.
Too. Yeah.
Somebody had to help us out. That was it was a fun moment, and seeing those guys, jump all over each other and just have a blast. And for Guillermo as a sophomore, that's probably his first big hit.
Yeah.
Until yesterday, actually, his first big hit and a memorable one for him.
Yeah. Who's got better hops, Devin or?
I know. I'm actually surprised that Guillermo's up that high.
I know. Yeah, we could do that if we want. We can show a few shots. I was on the other side of the track, so here's a few shots from over at softball, and they had an odd day. They got behind 13-0 after 3 innings, and we had 1 hit, but somehow we just all of a sudden started hitting the cover off the ball.
Good.
And you got Gretel and Coach Peter Ames won 4 state championships. Gretel was in left field on the first championship team in 1994. Larry Meter is now our head coach, but he was JV coach for a long time, and you've known Larry forever.
For a long time.
Yeah, and Gretel just did a super job organizing.
She did.
Stuff.
Gretel was a big help with everything, kind of getting everything organized. She helped all the communication with Philip and getting the field set.
Yeah.
She did a great job.
Quick video for them?
Sure, quick video. I think they're talking about their softball signs, and they still got the same ones today, 30 years later.
Remember when we used to go across there?
Yeah.
You hit whatever is thrown. If you don't swing, you're done anyway.
You're done.
Hit it.
And you don't swing until you get a strike.
Yeah.
That was
That was the other thing, yeah.
belt buckle was bunt, nose was, and then it was,
Yeah.
and then you
Turn away is tape.
go it. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus, Larry, you stole that. Not even original, Larry.
So that was good fun there. And here are just a couple of softball photos with Peter Ames a week removed from his second hip replacement. I mean,
Look, he's moving around great.
Oh my gosh, he threw about 400 pitches warming up with Ryan McCracken. Was catching them. It was incredible. And Gretel's a little nervous. Her mom showed up to watch, mom and dad, and she had a great time. And just these guys sharing a nice embrace. They're just best of buds. Then nice play at the plate. Rolled to the backstop. Allie Hussey got the ball to Izzy Fitzsimmons, who tagged the girl out from Sanborn. Nice play at the plate. And then we got an out at third base. Ground ball to Georgia Coleman. She flipped it over to Emma Jeffrey for an out.
Perfect.
Yeah. And then this is right after Georgia had spanked a home run to right field. She came around. She goes, "Where's Lloyd?"
Georgia.
So that was a softball day, and then this is just a great backdrop.
It is an amazing backdrop.
Yeah, I mean, who wouldn't want to play there, and who wouldn't want to play on the baseball?
I know. I think what's one of the things that we lost in the move to the
really
new school is the I think our athletic facilities and the athletic facilities at White Mountain Regional High School, with the views that you get from those two, from the middle school field and the White Mountains field, are just amazing. You can't frame athletics better than what we have for views.
And I mean, I like our field. I like our field at the high school.
We have excellent facilities at the high school. But just the view and the framing of just being able to sit at the top of the hill and look out, or be, like that view from the tracks at the softball field and have the moats in the background. It really doesn't get any better than that.
No, it truly doesn't. And my gosh, Josh, we're still buzzing about the game on Friday, and you've played 2 more since then. And it's only Wednesday.
It seems like Friday was a long time ago, but we had a game. We had a game against Kingswood on Monday and a game against Laconia yesterday.
Yeah, and Kingswood just an old-fashioned good rivalry game with those guys.
It was, they scored runs, we scored runs, and then we end up in the bottom of the 7th inning, tied 4-4. Jacob Brown was getting stronger as the game went on.
Did he?
Yeah, he was great. Like he hadn't pitched in about 2 weeks because of just the way things mapped out. And as the game went on, he started getting much stronger. So we get into the bottom of the 4th inning, and Jacob's at like 80-something pitches, or bottom of the 7th inning. Sorry,
he's economical.
He's at 80-something pitches, and so I'm like, all right, let's just win it in the bottom here. And so we ended up with the bases loaded with 2 outs and full count, and Sergio grounds the ball to third, and a little bit of bobble at third base and get it across. And I think Sergio kind of tripped a little bit coming out of the box, and he was out by maybe 6 inches, and we would have walked off that win too. And I think after the kind of the disappointment of that, we kind of lost our steam. I sent Jacob back out in the 8th inning, and Kingswood started hitting. And when started happening, I think we kind of lost our gusto a little bit. We ended up losing 9-4. We gave up 5 runs in the 8th and just kind of lost it there. But we turned it back around yesterday against Laconia.
Did they throw the good freshman against us, or sophomore?
For Laconia?
For Kingswood.
Or for Kingswood. The same kid we saw the first time, Calvin Samp.
He beat us 1-0.
He beat us 1-0 on a solo home run in like the 5th or 6th. And he pitched well again. He's been pitching really well for them. He doesn't get a lot of strikeouts, but he really controls the running game with the way he's a lefty, and the way he the way he delivers. We just can't read him.
Yeah.
And he gets a lot of soft ground balls or flyouts, and he just mixes things up well.
I think I'm seeing better catching this year. I mean,
I've actually noticed that yesterday.
Did you?
We aren't running.
No,
we tried to steal in the first inning yesterday against Laconia, who's at the bottom of our division, but very young. Their catcher had a pop time to second base better than almost anybody we've seen so far. Really? We tried to steal in the first inning, gunned us. And
my gosh.
We had to move to different types of things, but and for Kingswood, Ben Libby, who's been there forever. I don't know. He's a junior. He's been on the team for 7 years, but he's phenomenal behind the plate, from a throwing standpoint.
Yeah.
And so he's hard to run on anyway. And with Calvin on the mound, it's almost like our running game is just not. He just can't do it.
Then Melanson for Berlin, we'll see him on Monday.
Yeah, he's been playing short.
Oh, he has.
Yeah, so he plays short for them, and we were able to run on Berlin a little bit.
Good.
But, all the way around, the catchers and their ability to throw down to second has been outstanding this year, and it's been really hard for us to move around.
Because historically, the last few years, we were up around 70, 80 stolen bases for a season.
Last year we had 98.
98.
And I think we're at like 30 right now. So I think we're on pace for like 60. And it's really, we're being shut down by the catchers.
But you've also incorporated a little small ball into our game plan.
We're bunting a lot more.
Yeah.
And that, historically we're not a home run hitting team, and most teams in Division II New Hampshire are not. So we like to use the small ball, move guys around. We've practiced it a lot. It worked against Plymouth. We failed a couple times executing against Kingswood. That game probably shouldn't have been 4-4 when we got to the 7th inning.
Really?
We probably should have been up 5-3 or 5-2. But we didn't execute what we needed to do, both offensively and a couple miscues defensively, put us in a position where we had to kind of fight into extra innings, and it just didn't work out for us. So we beat ourselves a little bit. But we've been mostly successful with our small ball action and moving runners around.
Yeah, and then looked like we were going to get Tuesday off for a day of practice, but heck no, the weather's...
We don't get to practice this time of year.
The weather moved up the Laconia game from Wednesday to Tuesday, and you're back on the field less than 24 hours later, and another good win.
It was a win, yeah. We ended up winning 9-2. The first inning was a little, we got a couple outs, and then we loaded the bases with 2 outs, and then Guillermo hit a grand slam over the fence in left field and drive in forward, just like you practice. Just like we practice in practice, just load the bases with 2 outs and hit a grand slam. It's like Major League Baseball.
Did you know it was gone when he hit it?
Oh, yeah, he crushed it.
Did he?
Oh, yeah.
Good for Guillermo.
Absolutely, it was a great swing. He ended up, I think, with 3 hits on the day. He had a double as well. Yeah, Guillermo's getting hot.
And he's playing much better third base,
yeah, he's really locked down third base.
There.
Everything that's hitting his direction, he's making the play across the diamond. He's doing an excellent job there.
And who else played well for us?
Jacob Brown had a good day.
Did he short?
Great day at short yesterday. Hit the ball well. I think Brody had 3 hits yesterday.
Good, Brody had 3.
Sawyer Hussey. Laconia has a hard time getting Sawyer out. He was 4 for 4 in the opening day game.
That's
he was 2 for 3 yesterday with 2 hits in his first 2 at bats with a double. We just. We hit the ball well early, and then I think we kind of took our foot off the pedal a bit. And then later on, I would have liked to get that 10 run and get out of there in the 5th, save some innings for Matt. But Matt ended up going the distance again, getting the 9-2 win. And he continues to be stellar on the mound.
He's given us 42 innings already.
Yeah, he's doing great. Can't complain.
No, and then I got an opportunity on Friday. I saw Logan Ramsey was there, just like 48 hours removed from surgery, and he was doing really well. He's so optimistic about coming back and really eager to play next year.
He's a big piece for us. Matt and Jacob have been outstanding, but Logan's probably our one.
Yeah.
And so if you sit there and we get Logan back next year, we don't lose Matt or Jacob.
No.
We graduate Brody and Bryce. And so a lot of that squad comes. Not that I'm thinking forward to next year, but for Logan's sake, there's going to be a very strong team with him and behind him. And what we're able to do this year is build up those innings for Matt and Jacob, and build up those guys that are going to pitch behind him, like Sergio, John Dodge, and bolster the defense and get all of that stuff ready for when Logan's there, and we are able to go with a much more beefed up pitching staff.
Yeah, no one's going to want to play us next year.
I think we'll be tough.
I think we'll be super tough. And then talking about tough, we got 2 more games this week and then 4 next week.
Yeah,
you like playing a Red Sox schedule.
Why not? We got 8 games left, starting on Friday. So Friday, Saturday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Monday, Wednesday. That's our schedule for the rest of the year. And it's 8 games in like 13 days or something like that.
And hey, we've knocked off the #1 team already once this year when we beat
We'll try it again Friday.
Friday, John Stark. They've got some pretty good pitchers.
They are amazing. They're the 2 pitchers they have, Chase Philibot and Anthony Policelli, are
legit.
And Policelli is probably the player of the year. His offensive stats are almost as good as his pitching stats.
Yeah, he's swinging a great bat.
He's great. And the thing is there's more of him in that lineup. It's not just him. They're all him. They're all that good. And so they're a really good team. Their coach, Dennis Pelletier, is an excellent coach. He and I have gotten pretty close over the last 10 years, and he's got a good team. He's got good players, a great program there, and he's just, they continue to win every year after year. We beat them in the regular season last year, and then lost to them in the first round of the playoffs, I think 5-1.
We were the last team to beat them.
We were the last. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And then, do you like them a little bit more than St. Thomas? Would you give them an edge, or?
I do. I think they're better. I think they're a better team than St. Thomas. I think St. Thomas has excellent pitching too, but Philibot and Policelli are, I think, probably the two of the top 3 pitchers in the state.
We got them on. Go to St. Thomas on Saturday. Then we're home on Monday against Berlin, which is always a great rivalry game.
Yes.
Then host Merrimack Valley on Wednesday. And then we're back on the road the following Friday at Pembroke, and then travel to Oyster River for a Saturday afternoon game, 1 o'clock.
We'll figure out what happens.
Yeah.
The hard part of all this, when the weather starts backing things up, is just managing the pitching, because we do have pitch count rules and days of rest that we have to work with. And you get to the point now where you've got to kind of figure out how that works. And I think we're going to have to start relying on we've been relying on Jacob and Matt a lot, and we're going to have to start relying on some other people.
Yeah. 5-5 at this point, probably playing our best baseball of the season, Coach.
Yeah, won 3 of the last 4 games.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can go make some noise against John Stark and
I
St.
hope
Thomas.
So. I would love that.
See what happens there.
Yeah. So we get done with the 100th anniversary game, and not a lot of sleep for you. You're up early the next morning. We got a parade.
Yeah.
We got the Mount Washington Valley Cal Ripken League parade, and Rachel Sharple's got some photos of that. There you are, leading the parade. Great numbers this year.
We have about 200 players, 4 teams in our majors, 6 teams in our minors, and then another 6 or 7 rookies teams. The front of the parade here is our last year we won the state championship for U12.
Yeah.
So we had some of our guys that had aged out of that U12.
Is that Jack?
Jack's in the front, and Bowen Brown and Jackson DiMartino. They're all middle school players now.
Hopefully all 3 play for Kennett.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
That's the plan. And then Jeff DiMartino there as well with me, who was one of our assistant coaches, walking in the parade and leading the charge. And it was good to see those guys there.
And the Bartlett A's behind them.
That's right. And then you got the Dodgers here. We have all the high school guys come back and kind of spread out amongst some of the teams and walk with the players. I know the kids like it. Devin's got a Dodgers hat on.
Yeah.
He got autographed by all the kids on the Dodgers.
Did he really?
Yeah.
How cool. I love it. Then the Mets.
The Mets, they're mostly a Madison team, and a lot of their players actually had a game for the Bulldogs, so that's why there's only like 5 or 6 kids
I wondered.
there.
I was like,
the Bulldogs had a tournament at Tasker, so a lot of the kids that play travel were unable to participate in opening day.
oh my gosh. The
Brewers,
Crew.
yeah, they got the trophy from last year.
Yeah.
They were the minor league champions.
They look great.
Chris McCracken and his Blue Jays squad.
Yeah. just so fun. I mean, just all sorts of smiles, and what a great way to start.
This is the Rockhounds. They're from Bartlett as well.
We got a hound over there.
Yeah, that's right. Everything you need.
Yeah.
New team, the Astros.
I was going to say, I didn't recall
yeah,
the
we
Astros
had
last year.
expansion team here in the Astros. We got the Astros and Marlins as new teams for this year for the minors. With such good numbers at that age group. It's my squad, my daughter's team and Allie's team. Marin's right there right in the middle of the Conway Cubs banner, and Allie over there.
She had a great first game.
She had fun. Yeah, she plays third. She likes third base. Jason Vino and Sarah DiMartino are helping out with that squad as well. It's great.
Share the quick story about the Rockies against the Cubs. You were sitting there in the third.
I'm sitting behind the backstop in a chair watching a baseball game, which I don't ever get to do.
No.
And the Rockies are out in the field, and they're putting all their players in their position, and they got this little guy at first base. And the Cubs come up, and pitch comes in, hit the ball, and the kid playing defensively at first base runs as hard as he can to second base. Just runs right to second base and is standing there all proud of himself, like he knew what he had to do when the ball was hit, except he was on defense. And it was amazing. It was the coolest thing.
That's the greatest part about
It's
sports.
the best part.
It really is. And then the Braves.
Yeah.
Freedom Nationals?
The Freedom, it's amazing the number of kids that participate in Freedom.
I was going to
say, for being such a small school and small community, we've always had great numbers. And one year, I think 2 years ago, we had 2 rookies teams in Freedom.
Really? Oh my
gosh.
Yeah,
they always have great numbers. They do a good job there.
The Rockies.
Matt Haley's team there, all over the place.
They are all over the place.
Pirates, yeah, they're sponsored by Pirates Cove.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's great. It's a good view of the crowd we sent down Main Street in North
Who's
Conway.
coaching the D-backs this year?
Tony Day and Mark Lipchansky.
Are they? Oh, good.
Yeah, there's a good team. We left a lot. I think only 2 players ended up leaving that team, so there's a lot of good players left there.
So it gives you a little bit of a break. You can go watch a little.
I watch some baseball. It's fun. I'm not coaching any youth baseball right now. I'm not doing the MWV travel.
Good.
I'm not coaching anything in the summer. So when high school season's over, I will be done for this year. Probably not. It's probably not going to last that long.
No, not going to last that long at all.
But
my gosh, just a magical week, Josh. Everything has just been wonderful.
No, it's good.
Another quick half hour in the dugout. We got to get back to it next week, and hopefully we'll have good stuff to report.
That'd be great.
All right. For Josh McAllister, I'm Lloyd Jones. Rob Struble, thanks for watching The Dugout, Lloyd's Dugout, I guess. And we'll see you next week, and enjoy the baseball games, everyone.